right, so my power talk is I want to talk to you about neurobics. Now, raise your hand if you're familiar with the concept of neurobics. Nobody. Okay, awesome. So neurobics is a breakthrough study that has been happening in the science industry for a really long time now. I'm a nerd by trade, so in high school I was the one who was excited for extra credit and loved homework, and if we didn't get homework, I was the kid saying, we don't have anything to work on at home, and my other friends were kicking me and telling me to shut up, because I like how things work, and I like to see how far we can take ideas and concepts. And one of the things that you will notice about skills particularly is it's not just martial arts. We integrate science and psychology into how children learn and grow. One of the things that we've really started to master is maximizing a student's capability to retain a large amount of information and also be able to pick up information really quickly. And a lot of it has to do with the brain. So if you notice the way our structure is set up, the warm-up was designed to increase the oxygen flow in your brain, which makes more neurons in your brain fire. The more neurons that in your brain that fires, the more active your brain actually is. And then when we do the mat chat, what we're doing is we're helping them narrow their focus on what we're working on for that day, and that develops what's called active learning. So those neurons were just firing randomly. When you start to say, this is what we're going to work on today, for example, today we're working on kicking, they narrow down those neurons to specify what are we going to learn on kicking, and that develops new neural connectors. Then we go into skill building drills. This is the funny part where a lot of people always joke around and say, Melody, all she does is play games in that class. Yes, I do. We do that for a reason. Because when you play games, those neurons start to develop these protein releases, and those develop new neural connectors, and they're building upon your brain cells and capability to retain information. So that's what those skill building drills are actually meant to do. Then we go into the curriculum. Right? And that's where we do the skill strength testing, and that's called the curriculum checkpoint. And what happens is, now that all these new neural connectors have been developed, the fluid intelligence part starts to kick into place. So when we're working on the actual curriculum, now the brain starts to figure out how to use all that information into something useful. Then we do the cool down stretching. And when we do the cool down stretching, that's actually meant for the brain to download the information they just learned in class. So they take a minute to download. It's like reading a passage in a book, and you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. And you put the book down for a second, and you kind of think about it, and you sit on it. That's what the cool down stretching is. And then, of course, we go into the game part, which is where we socialize with the students, and it's their treat, and it's a way for us to really hang out and have a good time and reward our students for hard work in class. So I know that that was a really fast overview, but as you see, the class pointers were meant to target the brain. Well, one of the newest things that has been discovered, and this has been done because MRIs and CAT scans have been very sophisticated, they started doing what's called brain mapping and figuring out, like, if you read this, what part of the brain works, and if you do an activity while you're reading, you're activating even more parts of the brain, and this is where neurobics come in. So neurobics is basically getting out of your normal routine, because after you do something over and over and over again, it becomes routine. You're actually not building new connectors, and you're breaking down existing connectors. So if you take the same route to work every day, if you eat the same thing every day, if you have the same routine when you wake up every day, you're actually weakening your brain's capability to build and learn and grow. So when I drive to work, I always drive a different path. Make sure that I go a different way to and from work. Not that I come here a lot, but when I do, I make sure I drive different places. I change my routine every single day, and this has actually done wonders for me because my brain is always so scattered. Now, how does this play a role in the class? Think about it. When we do our warm-ups, the typical regiment for school owners, or instructors, when they're doing their warm-ups is to, for example, run them through the exercises, and the students count to 10, correct? Yes? Okay. So what happens is the students they're firing their brain when they're doing their warm-ups, and they're getting a little activity, but there's a way to get your brain to work 400 times more if you do certain things, and that's where neurobics comes into play. So, for example, instead of just counting to 10 on each rep when you do the warm-ups, there's different neurobics you could do to make it a little bit mixed up. Here are some examples. Count backwards from 10. Next exercise. Count to 10 in another language. Next exercise, count in 10. So go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And I'm going to give all these to you, so you don't have to write them down right now because I like to talk as fast. Count in odds. Count in even. Name 10 colors. Name 10 fruits. Name 10 veggies. Name 10 boy names. How about 10 girl names? 10 presidents. 10 heroes. 10 villains. 10 Disney movies. 10 of your favorite toys. So when you're doing these, what happens is while the students are doing the exercise, if they're not the one who's actually doing the neurobics, they're thinking. So I may say, Carrie, I want you to name 10 colors really quick.
Red, yellow, blue, pink, purple, white, orange, green, black, brown.
Perfect. Very good. Now, did all of you start thinking what kind of colors you would have been saying right now? So what are you doing? You're developing new neural connectors in your brain. So this is what is called neurobics. And here's the actual definition. For example, neurobics is basically breaking routine and making whatever you do novel. Now, the way it works with the warm-up is when the counter is not just saying the normal 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, everybody's brain is now anticipating what are they going to say, so they're opening up their brain a little bit more. So that's really cool. And then to wrap it up, here's a couple of other tips for neurobics. To make these things age-specific, because obviously if you ask a 3- and 4-year-old to name 10 heroes, you may be here till tomorrow, right? Okay, so you would have the instructor say, okay, when I say a superhero, you're going to do a rep. So let's say they're doing squat jumps. Every time I say a superhero, you're going to repeat the name, and you're going to do a squat jump. So I'll say Spider-Man, and they'll repeat Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. Andrew can probably name them a lot faster than me.
Way to teach our kids. Superheroes.
Yes.
That's the way to do it.
Yes, yes. And so again, they're still using very good neurobics. Now, for the 7 and up, you can just pick. You can do, for example, you say, okay, Carrie, you do colors. Okay, Dave, 10 superheroes. Ready, go.
Oh, this is my thing. Spider-Man, Hulk, Captain America, Superman, Supergirl, Flash, Aquaman.
Aquaman. Johnny Chase.
Give me something.
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern. Oh, the Green Lantern.
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Thor. Yeah.
Thor, there you go. See, and you can exactly. So that's 10, and students will start yelling out names, and that's good too because that means that his brain is firing at higher levels too. So for 7 and up, you can have one student say it. Other ideas is you could pick one student. So what we'll do now is let's do Disney movies, starting all the way over here. Say a Disney movie. Next one.
Aladdin. Frozen.
Beauty and the Beast before she takes it.
Cinderella.
Okay.
Dumbo.
Toy Story.
That's Pixar.
That doesn't count?
You're good. You're good.
Snow White.
I was deprived as a child.
Okay. So that's another idea that you could do. Here's some other things is you can allow everyone just to blurt out their own answer. So especially for like the preteens and teens, they like a little bit of independence. You say, okay, guys, 10 push-ups. When you do the push-ups, I want you to blurt out your 10 favorite superheroes on each rep. So you'll have a lot of different chaos going on in class, but again, this is neurobics. Other ideas besides just saying 10 reps, you could say a fruit, and then you guys say a color. So I say banana, you guys say apple, watermelon, and that's okay. Lime, very good. Cantaloupe. There you go. So you guys repeat as you do the rep. You could say a name, and you say if it's a good guy or bad guy. So Captain America, the Joker. There you go, and you say. You could say the letter of the alphabet, and then you guys say something that starts with the letter. So I would say A. There you go. And you can say that whatever. Everybody can board a different B. C. D. Obviously, their neural firings are out there firing a lot higher than most of you guys are here in this class. But very good. Other things is you could just do 10 deep breaths. So when I say 1, just do a deep breath. Ready? 1, while you're doing the exercise. 2. Very good. 3. Okay, excellent, so forth. The other thing is you can have everybody close their eyes. So close your eyes and everybody count to 10. Ready, go.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Very good. And another one when you're doing like squat jumps or something like that, while you're doing the rep, you can hold up fingers. So everybody go ahead and hold up your finger and count to 10 by using your fingers. I'd say it out loud too.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Very good. Now, do you feel like your neuroactivity was firing at a higher level just now? You're more awake now? Was it fun and engaging? What a great way to start off class, right? So not only are you increasing the brain's ability to fire 400 times faster than it normally would, you're also breaking the ice, making everybody smiling. You're getting everybody into the actual class. The problem with the problem where martial arts instructors have found in the past is their kids aren't focused. So this is one great way to get them to leave everything at home, and not just kids, adults, right? You may have been thinking about something else while you were sitting here, and then all of a sudden now you're fully engaged at the task at hand. So that's my power talk tip for the day. So